Hello everyone, MA16V3 here, and today we've got something big. What we have here is by Son of Sparta over at Recetera. Let me get the date on this. Looks like this was posted... When was this posted? This is just going to be very off the cuff. Yep, looks like this was posted Sunday at 5:38 p.m. Son of Sparta on Recetera has leaked a ginormous amount of information about Devil May Cry 5. And I like a lot of what's going on, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the leak, and I'm just going to present my thoughts line by line. Anyway, let's do this. The game is slated to be released sometime in the fiscal calendar year of 2019. That means between April 2018 and March 2019. Original plan was to release it in November 18, but the date might have been pushed back to early 19. We're gonna be waiting a while for this one, folks. Just front and center. The fact this is the first line, I mean, we're just gonna be waiting. I don't know that I like that, but let's keep going. Originally, Devil May Cry 5 was intended to be announced at PlayStation Experience, but after receiving feedback on their E3 press conference, which was basically just a pre-rendered video, Sony decided to scale back on PSX and scale up E3 18. DMC5 was an unfortunate casualty of this choice, and thus it's unlikely that DMC5 gets officially revealed in 17. Alright, fine. Though... recently, there have been some posts pretty much fueling us that we are still going to get an announcement in the next few days. There will be a demo for the game sometime before release. Good, because we need to know that this game is going to be what we're hoping for. And I think the fact that there's going to be a demo shows how confident they are about their game, because they're willing to put sales on the line by releasing a free demo. Notice how a lot of games don't put out demos. That's actually a sign of a lack of confidence. Anyway, game has been in development for 2 years as of today. Oh god, this is big. When it will release, it will have been in development for 3 years at least. That is actually the highest time a DMC game has been in full production. For pre-production, it started as early as 2015, around the time Special Edition finished releasing. That means it started shortly after 4 Special released. So they would have already had those numbers, and my understanding is Special Edition blew everything away as far as expectations. There have been no development hiccups, and as stated, the development has in fact been progressing smoothly. I think that's because this is such a focused development, and more on that later. There's some form of PlayStation exclusivity involved. Sony is paying for some of the funding for the game, but the extent is not known. Could be completely PS4 exclusive, console exclusive, or timed exclusive. If the game is announced publicly, then it will be at a Sony event, which is why many think it was going to be at PSX. Alright, so this makes sense, because Capcom as a company is not doing well, and this actually lowers the risk, because Sony's gonna put so much money in front of them. This means Capcom only has to make back less. So if, let's say, a game costs $10 million to make, Capcom puts in 6 and Sony fronts 4. The game only needs to make 6 for it to break even for Capcom, even though the game's total budget was 10. Does that make sense? Obviously, the numbers are a lot bigger than that, but that's what we're dealing with here. So the risk is way lower for a DMC5. Plus, a DMC5 would be a massive feather in the cap of Sony, especially with the Xbox One X just releasing. Anyway, let's keep going. A trailer has been ready for a while now. Oh god. Oh god. The trailer is 1 minute 50 seconds long. They may add new cuts to the trailer to make an extended version, since some time has passed from when it was made. It mostly focused on story, characters, and cutscenes. A city-like setting is shown in the trailer, not that different from Fortuna. So basically the first full trailer we got from DMC4. Alright, this is cool. We'll at least get a good idea of the art design. We'll get to hear Ruben Langdon, Bosch, and Southworth in action. That's going to be exciting. Overall game is supposed to be ambitious for a DMC title with broader appeal. I want to know what that looks like. What does ambitious look like for Devil May Cry? Longest cutscene runtime of any DMC game. This one, as much as I'm happy to hear this, DMC4 said the same thing, and it was technically true, but not by much. Itsuno's team that worked on previous DMC games and Dragon's Dogma is working on 5. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! I've died and gone to heaven. Yuji Shimomura is returning as cutscene director for DMC 5. He worked on 3, 4, and Bayonetta. Yes! So this confirms we're going to have some pretty over-the-top stuff. Like, I want to see Dante doing guitar solos. I want to see Dante doing ridiculous stuff. Ruben Langdon is reprising his role as Dante. Bosch is reprising his role as Nero. Southworth is reprising his role as Virgil. Here it is. Dante, Nero, and Virgil are getting their voice actors back. Yes! No word on the actresses who played Trish and Lady if they will be returning. I mean, their performances were good, but not great. Anya Fiore is helping with the soundtrack. She did the song for DMC4 Special Edition launch trailer. The name of that song is Make Me. It's really good. Alright, now we've got some spoilers for the story, and these really aren't spoilers for the game itself, more spoilers for games that came behind it, but we're really not here for the story. Still, it's a good thing to have. Devil May Cry 5 picks up the story after DMC 4. How far? We don't know. It doesn't say. Some speculate right after 4. I think there's going to be a little more time. More than one playable character in the game. Dante is for sure playable, and Nero is possibly playable as well. Up to 3 playable characters have been suggested for now. I hope this number goes up. I suspect it is. It's either going to be 3 or 5, I think. Simply because they already have so much in place from Special Edition that they could just bring over. This is the most serious Dante has been, of course not counting DMC 2. Dante still plays with his enemies and has his usual over-the-top flair, but this game is going to be more personal for him. So we're going to see some character development, but we're also going to see him have fun. If Dante's having fun, we the player are having fun, which was the biggest problem the reboot had. A third character is expected to be playable as well, said to be very powerful, may or may not be brand new to the series. This says to me Virgil, though some are implying that this could mean Sparta. Be interesting to see how that works. No word on whether Virgil is playable or not. He will be returning, although specifics on how he is returning from his death in DMC 1 are unknown. Real simple, because that scene in DMC 1 is actually rather ambiguous. I mean, he just disappears like he did the last 2 times you beat him in DMC 1. Trish has a prominent role to play in DMC 5, but no word on whether she is playable or not. No loss if she's not playable, but I'm excited to see she's playing a big role again, because that means we could see Mundus again. There will be a sequence where Nero and Virgil have a confrontation confirming their relationship. Nero is in fact Virgil's son, as stated in the 3142 art book. I would love to see how the two bounce off each other, not gonna lie. Plus, it'd be interesting to see if the Devilbringer continues to possess him, continues to creep up his body, or if he loses it. Characters switch during key story points in the game. Alright, so could this mean we're going to have a much larger campaign? I hope so, because 20 missions for even 2 characters in DMC4 wasn't enough. I think each character should get 15 missions each. Prince of Darkness is featured as the main antagonist of the story. Prince of Darkness title typically refers to Mundus, so it might indicate his return, but the title may have transferred to another character. I think it could be Mundus, simply because of all the demons that Sparta engaged. He ended up sealing most of them. But Dante killed most of them. The only one he wasn't able to kill was Mundus. Now, at the end of DMC 1, he is approaching exhaustion, and he had help from Trish. However, after DMC 4, we're dealing with a vastly more powerful Dante, so he may actually be able to do it. Plus, if Virgil's around, he most certainly could. DMC 5? Alright. DMC 5 might be the end of the Sons of Sparta storyline. Again, the focus could shift from Sparta's legacy to someone else, or just get rid of the whole legacy. DMC 5 might be the end of the Sons of Sparta storyline. This could just mean we stop focusing on Sparta's legacy and focus on something more contemporary or someone else. I don't think it means the end of Dante and Virgil's story, however. We could just keep seeing them, they'll just be involved in a different context. Gameplay and systems. Here's the main event right here. Hard lock on is standard. Yay. Console is targeted for 60 frames per second like previous DMC games. Yay. No, you can't make 30 FPS play like 60. Impossible. The fact is, you have twice as many frames per input in the same second on 60 as you do on 30. Level design is more open than previous DMC games, but not going into Souls or open world territory of level design. Movement outside of combat has been streamlined to match the open nature of the game. The structure is more open to make the experience more smooth. Immersion is important to the team with this game. Excellent. So the idea of branching paths in a level, that could be really good. I can't say we've ever seen it in a Devil May Cry game. I think DMC tried it. I might be wrong there, but it wasn't ever anything like super big and was only small sections. Alright. Level design and exploration is more similar to Bayonetta with action set pieces thrown in, but without QTEs. QTEs in general do not exist in DMC 5 thus far, nor should they. They should not exist. Get that cancer out of my Devil May Cry. There's no stamina bar. I hope not. This is not a Muso game, but there will be encounters where you're facing more enemies than you are used to in a Devil May Cry game. If you don't know what Muso is basically the Dynasty Warrior series of games where you're one super powerful guy and you're dealing with hordes and hordes and hordes of enemies. So while each enemy individually is not a threat, weight of numbers creates the difficulty. Alright. There's some online integration, but definitely no multiplayer or PvP. I'm hoping this is more than just leaderboards. I'm hoping for replays. I'm hoping for showcases. I'm hoping for... those are the two things I'm hoping for. But there could be other things as well. Alright. Dodge system is reworked, and dodging in general is supposed to be a lot smoother than before. I didn't have a problem with dodging, but if they can make it better, great. Just as long as it's not super forgiving. I do want a challenge, because that's part of what made the game so stylish. Camera pulls back during big fights. The devs are really proud of the new, more dynamic camera system. So I was just recently doing a burial fight, and if burial corners you, all you see is a giant close-up of his chest. So hopefully this camera system fixes that. So we always see our character, we always see our boss. Animations are being improved to be less stiff. Big emphasis on cloth physics. Maybe Dante's sword might not clip through his jacket now. Battles are beautifully animated and smooth. For an example of a game that's exceptionally smooth, Nier Automata. great animations. It's fantastic animations. Probably best this gen, for sure. Missions and ranking systems similar to previous DMC games in Bayonetta. There will definitely be mission chapter selects. Okay, sure. I mean, it's nice that this is being confirmed. But this was foregone conclusion. Bosses being ramped up dramatically in DMC 5. One of the boss fights moves between multiple areas of the game. Okay. Now, by ramped up, does that mean there's going to be more variety of bosses? Because in DMC 4, we fought the same 6 bosses back to back. I don't know that that was very fun. Not back to back, but in reverse order. Style system is in for Dante. Enemies will react differently to each style. Question is, can he style switch? I think so. Simply because, I mean, it was just a lot of fun in DMC 4. It was evolutionary. Alright, style system has been streamlined to be smoother to use for the players. Speculated that the style system might be tuned reworked to make it easier to get into than in DMC 4. I'll admit there was a learning curve, but I don't think it needs to be dumbed down. But if they think they've made an improvement without doing so, then I'm all for it. I think they can do it. Certain styles will have advantages on enemies similar to DMC 3. You can use a single style on any enemy just fine, so that's good. So while, say, an enemy might be weak to melee attacks, so you'd want to use Swordmaster, you can still definitely use guns on them. That's good. Ninja Theory, take note. More environment interactivity than in any previous DMC game. This is supposed to complement the combat system, not detract from it. Good. I mean, if they can incorporate that in some stylish way, I'm, again, all for it. I will not say no if it's done well. Worst case scenario, it's cool, but people ignore it, and we still get some pretty solid and stylish gameplay. I don't think that'll happen. I think Itsuno-san, rather, he knows what he's doing. There's some form of dynamic environment destruction transformation in play, but not on the scale of DMC thus far. I will say I did enjoy how the levels would change drastically. However, they changed before combat, not after. So what would happen is you go to an area, the room would transform, then you'd fight your pack, and then if there was another transformation, it would transform first, then another pack. While this is not an open world game, some inspirations have been taken from Dragon's Dogma. I should probably get on playing that, but I mean, I guess this is a good thing. And then after the leak, there was a little bit of an update. PlayStation 4 will happen first, PC later, and then this one is, I don't know if I'm disappointed in this or if I should be happy, but Unreal Engine 4. On the one hand, I've seen what Unreal Engine 4 can do. I was just playing some PlayStation VR. Eve Valkyrie uses UE4. Looks and plays fantastic. But I don't know, UE3 still left a nasty taste in my mouth. But I still think I'm still in wait and see mode here. I would prefer that they use empty framework. Makes everything more portable. I still think they're going to. But we'll see. Anyway, that is the leak on Resetera for Devil May Cry 5. Hope you guys enjoy it. I will be doing a few more videos, basically my own little speculation. I'll put some Devil May Cry gameplay in the back as well for that. Anyway, I just wanted to put my take on this out there. You guys have a good day, and game on.